Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be testing the test drives. We've got the Benefactor XLS Armored, but this is not the armored version. So let's test drive it. Okay, so I'll be very honest, this thing does not take corners very well. It does brake well though. I will give it that. Let's see, it looks alright. I wouldn't really recommend it though, it's an SUV. I mean, I don't mind SUVs. It's mainly muscle and bikes I don't like. Anyway, do I like it? Yeah, I still like it. It just can't take corners well. So if you guys are looking for a car that needs to take corners well, this is not your guy. But if you like the brakes on it, I'd say go for it. But let's move on to the next one, which we're going to move on to the Albany Roosevelt Velar, which is the podium vehicle this week. So this is a podium vehicle this week, the Albany Roosevelt Velar. This is the sports classic car. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so the Albany Roosevelt Velar, it can kind of take corners well, but it's not that great. It can only just make corners around a sharp corner without braking, but it would be recommended to brake with this car. The brakes work well. Move on to the next one. Game over. No, I would not recommend this car. Even if it's good, I still wouldn't recommend it. I know it has a convertible roof, but don't waste your time with this. I'll still test drive it anyway, but yeah. Let's move on to the test drive. Okay, so I gotta be honest. because that's what you'd expect. If I was to say that I didn't like this car, it would be not an understatement. I still don't like this car, but the car does perform well. It takes corners well. It takes brakes well. Everything about this car is good. But even at the start of this thing, when I said that even if it performs good, I still wouldn't recommend it because this thing is just straight up ugly. Let's just move on to the next one. I do not want to spend much time on this. Okay, we've got the Ennis Cons no City. I hope I pronounced that right, but this is such a long name for a vehicle. This is a sedan car, so let's test drive this thing out. Okay, this thing can't take corners well. I'd say the brakes would be better. I'd say avoid this one. Don't get this one. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is a Vulture. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so I really do like the Emperor Vulture, so I'd say get it. It performs well, it turns well, it looks great actually for a car that's a sports car. Anyway, yeah, overall I would recommend this car. This car does perform well, but it won't win you any races. None of these cars will win you races unless I tell you. So, yeah, let's move on to the next one, which we're going to move on to the Benefactor Shafter. Oh, I couldn't find it on the test drive track, so we're gonna find it here, obviously. Well, anyway, let's test drive this thing out. Okay, so I really don't mind how this thing performs. When I was driving it over here, I thought this car performed pretty well for kind of like traveling with friends, but you know this car's gonna get blown up, you know? So what's the point in even getting it? Probably no reason, but I'm gonna say get it anyway, because it is a car that's not in the game anymore. That's it, that's right. It's not in the game anymore, so you might want to take it while it's while you have a chance, because it is at Simeon's place. You can find it there. Yeah, that's all I have to say. This is not in the game. Buy it if you want. Domobachi Spectre. Let's just try this thing out. The Domobachi Spectre is a pretty good car regarding the brakes, but the turning isn't the best. I think it could do a lot better. The thing I don't like about this car the most is probably the back. I don't like the way it looks, okay? The backlights I don't mind, but the front I don't mind at all. But the back I just think it looks a little bit unusual. But I guess you could change that if you were to upgrade and put like a spoiler or something on it. Maybe it'll look better then. But would I recommend it? Only if you'd upgrade it to get the spoiler. Okay? If it has a spoiler upgrade, then yes, I'd say go for it. But if it doesn't, then this thing probably isn't your thing. Because this thing just looks straight up weird. In a bad way. Anyway, let's move on. We've got only supercars left. Okay, we've got the Overflawed Entity XXR. Let's test drive this thing out. Okay, some part of me about this car is telling me that it's an old car, but it's actually not. I don't think this car is old. But this car is the Overflawed Entity XXR. And I think the one I'm thinking of is the Overflawed Entity XXF or the XF. Anyway, this car performs well. It looks well. It can't really take corners that well, unfortunately, but it can brake well. Kind of makes up for it in the braking. But would I recommend it? Yeah, I still would recommend it. I do like the Overflowed Entity cars in this game. The Entity cars are probably my favourite looking cars in the game. Let me know if they're your favourite too. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. We've got the Grotti X80 Proto next. Okay guys, this is the Grotti X80 Proto. I don't actually think I own this car, so let's test drive this thing out, see if it's worth it. Okay guys, so I'll be honest, I don't mind the way this thing performs. It handles well, it looks well, it turns well. I think the braking would be good. I don't think I really got the chance to test that, but anyway, I still would recommend this car. Yes, this car does look really nice. Anyway, let's move on to the next car, which is going to be the Bugatti Tempesta. The Bugatti Tempesta, let's test drive this thing out. Okay, this car performs really well. This car takes corners well, it brakes well. Everything about this car is just straight up awesome. I would absolutely recommend this car. And I think it's an older car, so bonus points for that. Anyway, I would absolutely recommend this car. It performs well, it turns well, everything about this car is just great. The only bad thing is it's not going to win you any races. So let's move straight on to the last one, which is the Progen Italy GTB. Okay, we've got the Italy GTB. Let's just drive this thing out. Okay, guys, so the turning is not so great on the car, but the braking is good. But with cars in general, I base them off of looks. So, do I like the look of this car? Yes, I do like the look of this car. It is an okay looking car. I'd say get it if you like the looks, but I don't think it's going to win you any races, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's basically it. It performs well on braking, but not on turning. So I guess only buy this car if you like the looks. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.